Welcome to Lali's Eda Hub. We're thrilled to have you here. Our mission is to make learning engaging and accessible. And today we're tackling a topic that's been a hot subject of discussion: climate change. This isn't just about polar bears or melting glaciers. It's about us, our lives, and our future. So, grab a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and let's embark on this enlightening journey together. Let's dive deep into the world of knowledge, unravel the mysteries of our planet, and understand what exactly is happening to our world. Stay tuned because we're about to unravel the intriguing question that's been on everyone's mind. Ever wondered if the weather patterns you're experiencing are normal? Or are they a symptom of a larger, more concerning issue? That's a question that's been popping up more and more. And it's not just idle curiosity. Understanding climate change is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. It's about knowing the health of our planet, our home. It's about knowing what kind of world we're going to leave behind for future generations. This video aims to answer that question, presenting the evidence and impacts of climate change chronologically. Welcome to Climate Chronicles. In this episode, we're exploring climate change. In layman's terms, it refers to the enduring changes and variations in temperature and normal weather patterns that occur over a span of time. Now, you might be pondering, doesn't that sound like the weather? It's actually a bit different. Weather can fluctuate within just a few hours or days, while climate represents the standard weather pattern in a region over 2 to 3 decades. Allow me to illustrate. If weather were an attire you don for the day, climate would resemble your complete closet. But what provokes these climate transitions? Natural events such as volcanic eruptions and solar radiations are contributors, but human actions have markedly hastened the process. Developments like industrialization, deforestation, and the combustion of fossil fuels have resulted in a surge of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, capturing more warmth and instigating global warming. Now, equipped with a rudimentary understanding of climate change, we will dive into the evidence that confirms its existence. The evidence of climate change isn't a recent discovery. Scientists have been compiling data for decades. Indeed, the early signs of climate change were quietly whispering their arrival long before we took notice. Consider the temperature records from the late 19th century, a time when the world was witnessing the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. Scientists began to notice a gradual yet consistent increase in global temperatures. The Earth was slowly getting warmer. This trend has continued, and now, more than 100 years later, the 20 warmest years on record have all occurred within the last 22 years. Now let's journey to the icy realms of our planet. For centuries, the majestic glaciers have stood, a testament to the Earth's age and resilience. Yet, these icy behemoths have been steadily melting, losing volume and retreating. From the Himalayas to the Alps, from Greenland to Antarctica, we've seen a dramatic decrease in glacial ice over the past century. It's as if our planet's natural air conditioners are slowly shutting down. And it's not just about melting ice and rising temperatures. Climate change has been subtly altering the natural world around us. Plants and animals too have been feeling the heat. Species have been shifting their ranges, moving towards the poles or to higher altitudes in an attempt to stay within their comfort zones. This shift has disrupted ecosystems, affecting the intricate web of life that connects us all. The signs were there, but like a puzzle, they needed to be pieced together. And as scientists began to connect the dots, a picture of a changing climate emerged. Changes that seemed small and insignificant on their own took on a new meaning when seen as part of a larger pattern. As time progressed, these early signs became more pronounced and new evidence emerged. The whispers of change turned into a clamor that could no longer be ignored. The Earth was speaking to us. The question is, are we ready to listen? Fast forward to the 21st century, the evidence of a climate change is now more evident and alarming. We're in an era where the planet's thermostat is being cranked up. The Earth's average temperature has risen by more than 1 degree Celsius since the late 19th century, most of the warming occurring in the past 40 years. This might not sound like a lot, but even a small increase in Earth's temperature can have significant effects on our climate. Now, let's venture to the frosty ends of our planet. The ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica are shrinking. These icy giants have been losing mass at an accelerating pace. In fact, between 1992 and 2016, Greenland lost an average of 283 gigatons of ice per year, and Antarctica lost about 127 gigatons a year. This massive loss of ice contributes to rising sea levels, another clear sign of climate change. The Arctic is also feeling the heat. The extent and thickness of Arctic sea ice has declined rapidly over the last several decades. This loss of sea ice not only affects the animals that call the Arctic home, but also influences weather patterns around the world. Our oceans bear the brunt of climate change as well. They absorb about 30% of the carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere, leading to a process called ocean acidification. This makes the seas less hospitable to marine life, especially creatures with shells or skeletons made of calcium carbonate. And let's not forget about the extreme weather events. Heat waves are hotter and longer, storms are more intense, and droughts are more severe. These events pose serious threats to our communities, our health, and our economies. Indeed, the signs are clear, and they're all around us. The world is warming, ice is melting, oceans are acidifying, and weather is becoming more extreme. Climate change is not a distant, abstract threat. It's happening now, and it's happening fast. These changes have significant impacts on our world and how we live. The impacts of climate change are far-reaching and affect every aspect of life on Earth. From the peaks of the highest mountains to the depths of the oceans, it's hard to find a corner of our planet that hasn't felt the touch of climate change. Let's start with the environment. We're seeing more frequent and severe weather events, such as hurricanes, droughts, and heat waves. These extreme conditions can lead to devastating wildfires, like those we've seen in Australia and California, scorching millions of acres and leaving landscapes forever changed. Moving to the poles, we see ice caps melting at an accelerating rate, causing sea levels to rise. This phenomenon poses a significant threat to coastal cities and islands, some of which are at risk of becoming entirely submerged. And let's not forget about the animal kingdom. Changes in climate disrupt wildlife's natural habitats, forcing species to migrate and causing a ripple effect throughout the food chain. The polar bear, for example, is becoming an iconic symbol of climate change, with its Arctic home shrinking rapidly. Onto the human societies. Climate change affects agriculture, our primary source of food. With shifting weather patterns, farmers struggle to predict the right time to sow and harvest, leading to decreased crop yields. This issue can exacerbate food shortages and cause prices to soar, hitting the most vulnerable populations the hardest. In terms of health, rising temperatures contribute to heat-related illnesses and deaths. Furthermore, changes in climate can expand the range of disease-carrying insects like mosquitoes, increasing the risk of diseases such as malaria and Zika. Finally, the economy. The cost of climate change is immense, with billions needed for disaster relief, infrastructure repair, and adaptation measures. Plus, there's the potential for job losses in sectors like agriculture and fishing, which are heavily dependent on the climate. Given these impacts, it becomes clear that action must be taken. Climate change is not a future problem. It's happening now, and it's affecting us all. The time to act is today. Because as you can see, the impacts of climate change stretch far beyond just warmer summers and melting ice caps. While the situation seems dire, there is still hope. The key lies in understanding and addressing the root causes of climate change. Our planet is resilient, and with our collective efforts, we can help it bounce back. But how do we go about this? It's not as daunting as it may seem. The solution lies in 3 key strategies: reducing greenhouse gas emissions, adopting renewable energy, and promoting sustainable practices. Firstly, we need to curb the release of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases, primarily carbon dioxide and methane, are chiefly responsible for the warming of our planet. We can achieve this reduction through a combination of improved technology, a shift towards plant-based diets, and the preservation of our forests, which act as natural carbon sinks. Next, we have the adoption of renewable energy. The sun, wind, and water are incredible sources of clean and sustainable energy. By investing in technology that harnesses these resources, we can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, the burning of which is a major contributor to climate change. And finally, we need to adopt sustainable practices in our daily lives. This includes everything from recycling and composting to choosing public transportation or biking over driving. We can also support businesses that prioritize sustainability and pressure those that don't to change their ways. Implementing these strategies is no small task. It will require cooperation from governments, businesses, and individuals alike. But the reward is a sustainable future for our planet and future generations. Remember, every little bit helps. Whether you're a student cycling to school, a parent opting for a plant-based meal, a business investing in renewable energy, or a government implementing policies to reduce emissions, each action contributes to the larger goal of mitigating climate change. And so, while the challenge of climate change is immense, it is not insurmountable. It is a call to action, a call to innovate, and most importantly, a call to care for our shared home. By understanding and addressing climate change, we can work towards a sustainable future. Today, we've explored the evidence and impacts of climate change and discussed possible ways forward. We've unpacked the complex concept of climate change, traced its early signs and modern evidence, and grasped its far-reaching impacts. We've also highlighted the importance of proactive measures for a brighter, more sustainable future. Remember, the first step towards solving a problem is understanding it. Let's all do our part to understand and combat climate change. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the complex world of climate change on Lali's EduHub. Your time and curiosity are greatly appreciated. We hope that you found this video both informative and enlightening. If you've enjoyed this video and wish to continue learning with us, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support helps us bring more educational content like this your way. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, every bit of knowledge makes a difference. See you in the next video.